Okay, I'm back, and you are too, so let us proceed. I'm sure you've heard by now statements made by Ichabod Crane. That's a terribly awful nickname I have given to Tom Cotton, who is a senator from Arkansas. What is up with Arkansas? I mean, whoa. The Christian fascist politicians they produce are just scary. I mean, they're scary in their madness and the way they have corrupted the Christian religion. Anyway, on Monday, he urged people who come across pro-Palestinian protesters who might be blocking the traffic. Tom Cotton wants his folks to get out of their cars and attack the protesters. This is how bad it's gotten. We have a senator, a white, male, Adam's apple bobbing freak named Tom Cotton, who is advocating violence against peaceful protesters who might be momentarily blocking traffic. Okay, look, I don't like traffic blocked either when I'm trying to go somewhere. And you know the kind of traffic blockers that drive me right out of my crawl space? Bicyclists. Now, I ride a bicycle occasionally, but you get these people who dress up in their little competitive bike outfits like they're in the French Grand Prix or whatever it's called, and they put on their little funny-looking helmets, and then they get into traffic, and the fuckers won't move, even though there's signs all over that say share the road. That's supposed to be designed for us motorists not to run these squirrels over. You know, we're supposed to be patient. They're just boys and girls trying to ride their bicycles. So be patient. And yet, the share the road thing means nothing to these bicycle riders. It means nothing. They bunch up and block an entire lane rather than doing single file. Well, I guess they bunch up like that because, you know, they got to talk with each other about their latest trip to the chiropractor or whatever the fuck they talk about when they should be just riding their bike. Get out of the way. Okay? So I have an issue with crowds that block traffic also. But not to the point where I would say, jump out of the car with a tire iron and break their bicycles or smack them across the goddamn head. You know, no, I'm not going to advocate violence. What the fuck? But Senator Tom Cotton has no problem doing that. There were a series of social media posts after protesters shut down traffic in a bunch of cities across the country, including major roads in Oakland, California. The Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco was blocked near O'Hare International Airport in Chicago. And Tom Cotton called those responsible, quote, pro-Hamas, you lying bastard, and criminals. Criminals. Now, they may have been a nuisance. They may be a pain in the ass, but they're not a criminal, Cotton, you Nazi fuck, because we do have something called the First Amendment in this country. I know. In Tom Cotton's mind, and in so many of these maggot bastards, the First Amendment is only to apply to them when they want to demonstrate for Jesus Christ or something. Or when they want to hold rallies for the orange bastard in some goddamn airport someplace and block the roads going and coming. But when it concerns people who are, and I would tell Tom Cotton, you son of a bitch, they're not pro-Hamas, they're pro-Palestinian. And when it comes to that, then you have these grungy white devils like Tom Cotton rise up out of the muck and say, well, and this is what he said. Let's just say I think there would be a lot of very wet criminals that would have been tossed overboard, not by law enforcement, by the people whose road they're blocking. If they glued their hands to their car or pavement, it'd probably be pretty painful to have their skin ripped off. Now, what What he was talking about is throwing people off the Golden Gate Bridge and what would happen if people protested in his state of Arkansas by, linking themselves together or gluing their hands to pavement. I never heard of that one, but okay. But Tom Cotton didn't give a shit about that. Man, rip the fucking skin off. I'm a Christian. That's what we do. That's what we did to Jews for millennia. We used to get a whole bunch of Jews in villages in Eastern Europe and herd them into a church, if you can imagine that, and then set the goddamn church on fire. How about that? We know how to treat these fucking protesters. Whew. And on Tuesday morning of this week, Ichabod posted a video showing a group of men forcibly removing protesters from a roadway that appeared to be outside of the United States. Didn't appear to be in this country. In the video clip, one man is shown roughly dragging a protester off the road by his feet. And Ichabod Cotton wrote underneath that, "How it should be done." You son of a bitch. I know he's not listening to me, so me calling him a name is just ridiculous. But it just makes me a combination of emotions. Some freak like Tom Cotton makes me furiously angry. I mean, just almost I want to go outside and run 100 yards just to release that anger. And also makes me hideously sad that this is what this country has come to. That we have somebody, this Tom Cotton prick, who would not vote to impeach Donald Trump either time, vote to convict Donald Trump either time he was impeached, because Tom Cotton likes fascism, especially Christian fascism. Now, come on, be anything you want to, but let's not be naive, politically naive. We know, I know what the big game is here. The big game is to destroy this country, to fuck it up so badly that a Putin-style fascist like Donald Trump can get into the presidential power. Oh man, after a while, this just gets so exhausting, doesn't it? Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. The Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.